Oliver Luck was on the Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima to talk about the XFL and why spring football can work. Luck talked about what makes the XFL different from the AAF, what rules the league is working on, and if quarterbacks John Manziel and Colin Kaepernick are welcome in the XFL. A couple notes from the interview. Luck said it was a chance to work for a football league startup is what drew him out of the NCAA. Believes there is a market for spring football after the Super Bowl. He said, quote, spring is a quiet time in the sports world. Vince McMahon is the one and only person with the money, so there's no need in his job. There's no need to deal with multiple investors, and he can focus on the league, different from what the AAF had to deal with. Vince McMahon's capital gives the league time and money to get things in place to have a successful league. QB talent is critical to the league, and they pay more for those players. All 32 teams in the NFL, only 32 teams in the NFL have 2 slots typically for a quarterback, and he feels that there's a ton of talent out there that is not on NFL teams. Quarterbacks are the top of the food chain, clearly. He talks about the innovations the XFL is working on, about the 1, 2, and 3-point play and the different rules. We've been over that before. Vince McMahon wants a standalone league, not affiliated with the NFL. He has no interest in selling the league to the NFL. They are their own deal. We're not trying to partner with the NFL. We are a standalone league. And when they talk about being a developmental league for the NFL, that's silly because Oliver Luck is completely right. College football is a developmental league for the NFL. They don't need another one. Talks about broadcast partners, really like the XFL overtime rules. And this is the part that was interesting, that really made headlines, but really shouldn't have. And again, it comes back to people not listening. He said he was open to Johnny Manziel playing in the XFL as long as he fits the behavioral standards of the league and the coaches, and he feel like if he's good enough, and the XFL has no contact with him. When asked about Colin Kaepernick, he said he didn't know if he was in shape or not, and not sure he would be interested in playing the XFL based on the rumored salary requirements. We reported that Colin Kaepernick wanted $20 million to play in the XFL, allegedly, but he said he would be open to him as well. All of a sudden, Oliver Luck said it, and the media is like, the XFL commissioner and CEO Oliver Luck seems to be open for having Johnny Manziel in the league, but doesn't seem to be open to have Colin Kaepernick. If you listen to the interview, he has the same interest in both players, but Kaepernick probably wouldn't want to play in the XFL. You don't believe me? Listen to the clip now.
Oliver Luck with us on the show. I know that he's probably open to it. Are you open to John Manziel in your league?
Well, he's had an interesting career, needless to say. As long as he, fits our profile and our, sort of behavioral standards, and quite honestly, a bigger challenge, as long as our 8 head coaches, think that he's one of the quarterbacks that can make us better. And we've got some guys that, know quarterbacks fairly well, whether it's, Bob Stoops or Pep Hamilton or others, Jim Zorn, an NFL quarterback himself, or so we're going to, rely heavily on our coaches to say, yeah, these are the guys that we think will make our league better. If Manziel is in that group, then I'm sure he might have an opportunity. But it really all depends on him, and we haven't had any contact with him.
All right. What about Colin Kaepernick?
I'd say ditto, quite honestly. I have no idea whether Colin's in shape or not, whether he wants to play. We're a league that has salary restrictions, and obviously that at least based on what people have said, might play a role in his desire to play. But I would just say ditto on that as well.
So you heard it now. You heard the clip. I can't tell you how many articles were posted about Oliver Luck doesn't seem to be open to Colin Kaepernick. I'm listening to the same thing. He was like ditto basically for both, but one probably doesn't have an interest because he wants $20 million. But he's still interested in having him. Like, what? This is the second time. Jeff Fisher thing was the other time. People not reading and listening. Open your ears. He's fine. You've heard it. Now you just heard the clip. He is open to having them both. And that would be huge for the XFL.